Good morning. Just got in late last night from Arkansas, where I thought our team was really good, especially the first three quarters. Thought we played well together, played well defensively. Third quarter was really special with holding that team to just 8 points was really good. I thought offensively we did a good job of getting out in transition, running the break, and early. And Joe got out and really got off to a hot start and played very well back home. Had 26 and 9, just one rebound short of a double-double. But just was real pleased with Jazz. I thought she ran our team. If there's a better point guard in the country right now from a playing standpoint, production, boy, I'd like to know who it is because she's really doing a good job running our team. And I thought T was really good competing every possession, every play, both ends of the floor. And that's what you got to have from your seniors. And so you're on to the next one. It's a good win to win on the road. Somebody used to tell me a win on the road is worth a game and a half. And so to start off SEC play, as we've done most of the time that there's been basketball at Mississippi State, it seems like if you look over the years, it's an astronomical number how many first games are on the road. I know for me it's 5 out of 7 years we've opened on the road. And so it's always good to get that first one on the road. And again, was just really proud of I thought our approach and our execution was really good last night. So now we got to get ready for a really good Kentucky team. Matthew's got his team playing well, playing really hard, forcing, 24 turnovers a game. They're back to playing the way they played in years past when they were really good. I think they're probably a little underranked. They should be, from what I've seen on film, they're really good. And the only loss was at Louisville in a very close ball game. So they got a tremendous freshman, much like we had in Victoria a few years back. They've got a big guard that is playing really well for them, leading them in scoring. And so we're going to have to play really well on Sunday. And I'm sure we will. We'll have a great crowd. I know it'll be packed. And this will be a great should be a great ball game.
Vic, Kentucky was like South Carolina last year. It was a team that just couldn't get over the hump against. You beat them 2 or 3 times last year. What's Matthew done so well with that program over the years, and what made it so difficult for you guys to beat them until last season?
Yeah, we'd been up until last season. I think we played them 3 times last year, and up until last year, it seemed like we'd lost in overtime or double overtime every year. I mean, it was just hard to get over the hump, and overtime is usually our time, and but I think it's a testament to his players and their toughness. You get to that 44th, 45th minute in a ball game, or 49th, 50th minute of a ball game, that it comes down to toughness a lot of times. And Michaela was a tremendous player for him for seemed like ever. But I think that's the biggest piece is just how those kids were competitors and tough kids, and it was nice to finally win a few of those games last year because up until last year it had been really hard to as you say, get over the hump.
Jazz, you coached a lot of praise for you. When you first got here, you put a few minutes of ball game, and then you kind of developed into almost last year splitting time with Morgan, and this year it's your show. What are your thoughts on that process and how you've kind of evolved as a point guard in your time here at Mississippi State?
Just playing behind Morgan is developed me into the person I am today. Just getting a lot of reps behind her, I think that kind of helped me be the person I am now.
Happy New Year to everybody. Jordan, there was a quote in the Democrat Gazette following the game last night from Dungy talking about you, and she was quoted something to the effect of that she thought you had a point to prove, or you were playing last night like you were out to prove something. The story said that you had a lot of family members in the crowd. So can you tell us a little bit about what it was like for you to obviously be back in Arkansas where you started and to play in front of your family members and just to have an awesome all-around game?
It was a pretty special night. Just to have my family, friends, hometown come out to the game last night. It was a good environment, and it was my last time that I probably ever play in Arkansas again. So I think it was not more of me proving a point. It was just me having fun and playing in front of my family.
Jordan, obviously more increased minutes this year mean more opportunities, but I think you only had 3 games last year with double digits, and you've done that in 12 games out of 14 this year. Coach has mentioned your ability to get to a spot and get a good shot. You're finishing those shots, it seems like, this year. What do you feel like has been the difference for you from last year to this year, and how effective you've been scoring the basketball?
I think the biggest difference is me making those shots. Like you said, I've been able to finish more, and he really preached to me a lot about it's not about how many shots, it's about the makes. So I've been really focusing on the makes in the part of my game and just getting out in transition.
Vic, you've kind of foreshadowed that, what she's been able to do. You've been talking about that for a couple of years now. You felt like she was going to be able to do something like that. So I guess kind of how have you seen her progress from last year to this year? And I mean, from going from 3 points a game to 13 or whatever she is now.
Right. Well, just again, I think that's our job as coaches. We got to know who can do what, where they want the ball, where they're really good, and try to get them there. You know, it isn't like we're running 2 down for Jordan, trying to get her a 3. We're trying to get Jordan in a position on the floor where she can do what she does, and so be the same for Tiara. You know, we're not running her off a double screen to get her a 3 either. You know, we got to put kids in a position to be successful, and hopefully that's what we've done with all of our players. Jordan is just, as I've said, she's the best I've ever coached at being able to get to where she wants to get to her spot. I don't care what defense you're in. It's just hard to deal with her. She's very explosive. She's wiry, you know. She just she has that ability to split defenses, and then she's always been able to do that. What we've really tried to focus on is the finishing piece. You get there now, you gotta finish it, and so you know. She provides us so many things. She gets out in transition. Of course, she's Speedy Gonzalez too. So you got 2 kids that can really get out, fill a lane, and make you pay. I thought Joe did that last night. We got some stops. T gets an outlet to Jazz, and next thing you know, Jazz is making a perfect pass and I'm telling you, there was a couple of them last night that had to be perfect. You know, she didn't have a whole lot of space between her and the defender, but she made some really good reads to her and got her out in transition, and she finished. So it's, you know, she got 9 rebounds. She had 4 offensive rebounds last night, so 9 total. And so she was very active, and again, she's a heck of a player. She's the same player that I thought she'd be when I tried to recruit her the first time, and I'm glad I got her on the rebound. She's not the first rebound I've ever had in my life.
Jazz, now Maya's in the position you were in before, so and now you're kind of the mentor. What's kind of your advice to her about kind of being patient, but also kind of buying in and taking advantage of the minutes that she gets available?
Like Coach told me when I was a freshman, I can't play you if you turn the ball over. So my biggest thing to Maya is don't turn the ball over. Just be solid, play her game, and she'll be better than I am now.
T, 50 career double-doubles now. That seems mind-boggling to me. I know you pride yourself on rebounding and scoring as well. Just to talk about that number, and did you think you could reach those kind of numbers?
No, I didn't. But after a while, they started to add up. So, I mean, I know how many I had, but now I guess I do. But, I mean, it's amazing that I go out and play as hard as I do and reward myself with those.
T, you've been here with Jazz the whole time. How have you seen her kind of grow and mature as a player throughout her career at Mississippi State?
No, freshman year she would, get mad and hang her head, and it would be hard for her to bounce back. If a coach got on her, she did something messed up. But now it's like it just rolls off her back, and she's on to the next play.
Coach, Jordan said something that I thought was interesting at the end of her comment. She said, having fun. Maybe in earlier times, it almost looked like she would start thinking about her shot if one or two shots didn't fall. And that would maybe, from one person's opinion, that would maybe affect her a little bit. But so far this season, it looks like free and easy, if that's maybe an appropriate way, playing with a lot more confidence. When she says having fun, do you notice maybe a different demeanor? I don't know what the right word is, but do you just notice a difference in how she's playing?
She's always been a pretty good practice player. Always had a lot of energy, and this year's no different. You're talking about a really smart kid too. Graduated early. What was your GPA?
3.6.
3.6. I mean, but she's always worked really hard and practiced hard and been pretty positive most days. And I think it's understanding it's her senior year, and it's your time, and she's shooting 53% right now, and 64 at the line. I'd like to see that improve a little bit. So would she, but she's doing a good job. She's about 2-to-1 in assisted turnover. She's really another point guard. She played point guard in high school, and she's really another point guard out there. She makes some really good passes. Teal tell you she can find her in some real narrow spots, and so it's really good to have her out there doing what she does from the wing, and yet have some of that point guard mentality that you'd like to have. So. She's exactly the player that I thought she was coming out of high school, and that I thought she would be when we got her on the second time. So just really feel blessed to have her, and again, I think she's just going to continue to get better and better. It's hard to knock that rust off sometimes. When you don't play for a year, practice is practice. It ain't the big, even when the lights come on. And it's hard to knock that rust off. And, we still got some kids on our team trying to knock some rust off. So I think she had a year to just be in the system and practice. She played in 31 games last year and played double-figure minutes. Had some big ball games for us. But the consistency piece is what's hard. Those first few, that first year. Now this is her senior year. I think she's become a lot more consistent.
Tira, I think we talked, it might have been the media day here. I think I might have asked you about if Coach Harris was going to set some sort of goal for you. I think in previous years it had been the double-double goal. And you've, like Danny said, you've kind of shot that out of the sky. Has she set another goal for you this season in terms of reaching certain? No? Do you want her to, or?
I'd be surprised what she come up with.
What if you were to come up with one for yourself? What do you think a good one would be?
I don't know.
She just wants to win.
Yeah.
She just wants
Vic, you mentioned a few weeks back that you didn't think the offense was that good, at least then. But it seems like they've maintained this pace. They've been able to find ways to score and different ways to score. It might not be the three-point shooting that you had last year, but, with Jordan and Jazz doing what they're doing and T still putting up her numbers, do you feel like they're starting to find a little bit of their identity in what you kind of want to happen, at the right time?
I think they are. I just still believe this team has a long way to go. I think that's how good they can be. I had a friend at the game last night that saw me afterwards, and he said, "Man, I didn't think you could be any better than you were a year ago, Vic." He said, "But you're different." He said, "You're definitely different." He said, "But, man, you're really talented. And our problem, if we have a problem this year, if we have a shortcoming, if we don't attain our goals, it won't be on talent. That's not going to be our issue. And so we're very talented. We got some highly skilled kids, and I love our point guard play. Maya didn't play bad last night. She played pretty well, and she's getting better. And she's coming to understand taking care of the ball. But I still think this team has a lot of area to grow, and that has a lot. That word "grow," some of it's basketball, and a lot of it's not basketball. And I think that if we fall short, it's not going to be because of our lack of talent. And that's my job as a coach. You have to coach it all. You know, I say it all the time. Sometimes in joking and sometimes in seriousness. You got to coach it all. And I think for this team, the challenge is going to be to coach it all, teach it all, and learn it all. And I think that's where we are. And so I think the next 2 months will tell the tape.
As you hear Tiara say when you first got here, she saw you kind of get angry and kind of bow your head a little bit and kind of get upset with yourself. How is that part of the maturation process? How do you go from that to this? At what point did you kind of realize, okay, I can play at this level, I can accept coaching, I can kind of stay within myself and be an elite SEC point guard?
When Coach used to get on me, I knew he didn't mean anything by it. It was just me getting frustrated at myself because I know I could do better than what I was doing. So, I mean, I guess it's just a focus piece now for me, and I just know I can play at this level and be a great player.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you, Coach.
Appreciate y'all. Praise the Lord and go Dogs.